All right. Black Power, the General Sarah Soon Seti. Black at y'all ass again with this real talk. This is part 3 of the series today, Wisdom series of the day, dealing with the southern India, uh, dealing with Myanmar, Cambodia, Japan, and now we're gonna look at, as we've proven, we don't need no other proof other than our own research to prove that no, beyond any reasonable doubt that the facts are we are the indigenous people coming first from our native indigenous land of Africa, first moving into southern India, southern Asia, populating Asia from the west of Asia, Mesopotamia, all the way to the east of Asia, middle Asia, India, all the way to the east of Asia, as far as Japan, as far as the South Pacific. And now I'll move, the Pacific is a different region than the Indian Ocean. And I'll deal with the islands of the Pacific as an extension of the second world, okay? And deal with the Naga, Kush, Indian Ocean, and Africa. Africa, the whole of Africa, and the Naga, Kush, Indian Ocean as the first world. Now, we looked in the first video, we looked at the pyramid complex, looking at the Hindu temples, Buddhist temples, showing them to be replicas, not similar. Some people say similar. No, replicas of the Egyptian Nubian temples of the Nile Valley. Even showing that the temple from Sankore in West Africa all the way to India is the same temple, okay? In geometric blueprint and dimensions, it's the same. You understand? From the hypostyle hall to the sanctuary, you understand what I'm saying? Even the wall complex, and the dimension, the sacred dimensions of the temple and the complex, and you will see that it is the sanctuaries all over the planet, whether they be basilica, whether they be mosque, whether they be Hindu, Buddhist temple, whether they be Olmec temples, whether they be a Mississippi Mound complex, Olmec complex, it does not make any difference. The mother temple complex. See, we got to look at because when you get to looking at the complex, that's how you can see on the Giza Plateau, you see the 3 pyramids, and you see how they are aligned to Orion, the 3 stars in Orion's belt, and then you go to Teotihuacan and many other mound pyramid complexes, and they keep the same orientation. You see what I'm saying? It's so many replica traits, not similar traits, replicas, exact replica traits that prove beyond any doubt. So you can go get any weak white scholar, any scholar on the planet that can come in and give you some mystical, magical origins to these civilizations. The reality he knows is he got no claim to it. And since he got no claim to it, he not going to give it to you. So he'd rather conjure up a goddamn ET from outer space. You understand what I'm saying? And we got all the proof to show that the African, over hundreds of thousands of years of development in Africa, is solely responsible for it. And so we got, too many times we follow, and, we ain't taking the time to read. Too many of these Negroes is out here is YouTube scholars and YouTube or internet scholar. They ain't reading the master works. You understand what I'm saying? I don't go and read it. I got, people know me. I got thousands of books. Do you understand me? Thousands of them. And I damn near went through all, not reading them, but cracking them open to see what's good for me. Some is reference books, and I use them for reference books. Some of them motherfuckers need to be carted out and taken to the nearest goddamn garbage dump and put in there. And then I got my masterworks, about 2, 3. It's about a whole bookshelf where I keep all my African scholars. That's what I read. See, they ain't had the time to read. These niggas read something off. Man, listen, back when and I'm gonna get straight to what, back when I was coming up and I was in the university, they wouldn't even let you use a goddamn internet reference. Straight the fuck. They wouldn't even let you use an internet reference. You had to have a hard copy with a because you had to put the publishing date in there, nigga. You just could, nigga, you had to put the copyright, publishing date, the author, you understand, the publishing company. Then once you put that shit in there, then you had to put some, if they wanted to be hard on your ass, you had to put the page, the paragraph, and the goddamn sentence. If they wanted to be, but most people wouldn't, do you like. But they had certain, they had certain ways where they had different styles of how you could document. But if they wanted to be hard on you, you understand what I'm saying? They'll run your ass through the ringer to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, you getting some valid motherfucking information. So just going up on the internet, anybody could put a motherfucking, you know what I'm saying, up on the internet. So if you see me use something, it's on something so simple. You understand what I'm saying? And if I do put something up, it's because I can verify it in the other books. Now, and I can't get to the book, but I can verify that Dr. Ben, Sheikh Diop, John said such and such, and I can verify that. So if I got something that I could use right then, but I'm not just gonna read no internet shit and think that that's what's going. No, sir, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I read them, and if what I don't read, I go and see it for myself. See, once you read the master teachers and you get a blueprint on where you ready to, what direction, then that it's time for you to get that passport and go see it for yourself. You watching SETI, you reading the master teachers, you watching the master teachers, you writing your blueprint out. So when you get ready to go do your field research, you know what you looking for. Okay, SETI said this. I'm gonna prove this shit, or I'm gonna get the proof for it. Dr. Ben said this. I'm looking for. He said it's over here. I'm looking. So when you go into these lands, you ain't going in there like no goddamn tourist. You got a goddamn blueprint. I'm going in there studying. That's how I went to all my damn, when I was going overseas. I already had been studying under Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, you understand, over 16 years. So when I went, I was like this. I already had things written down that I was going to prove and make sure I got to visually see it for myself. Okay, so too many niggas out here is internet scholars, and that shit ain't going to fly. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a hard copy from the master teachers, and the biography come from the master teachers, and they the ones that's going to lead you. Outside of that, I don't need shit. I'll go see it for myself. Certain literature I will get, and I'll use it as a reference. I might get a white boy here and there as a reference, not as a main, because I don't really need you, motherfucker. But just because a lot of our people got crackatosis, you understand, to show you that the white boy, yeah, he got to bow down to the facts. You got to bow down to the facts, just like you gonna bow down, nigga. Once you get this crackatosis up out you and this niggeritis, you understand, once you get that up out you gonna bow down. So we showed that, again, coming that the temples are the same. We've shown that the Negrito, which are the Twa, when they say Negrito, they talking about the little short people, was the original people. And so from damn Ireland to Japan, all got stories of the little Twa. That show you they was one of the seed people, one of the first peoples that went across and circumnavigated this globe, and they was documented in see them even in the Americas. When I showed you that map, and I showed you, and it showed that they even came across the Pacific to the Americas, and you see them on many of the what they call them, the carvings or the Olmecs. You see the little twat. We are the only people, African people, that got a little short, you know, part of our people that's just short like that. You can don't know other. You might got a short person in your race, but you ain't got a whole section of your race that's particularly short. And these are African people. Look African, same hair, same phenotypes, and everything. They just the first seed people that went around this planet and brought civilization. They even when you talk about, you know, Ptah, you know, and Best, the two earliest deities of Egypt are Twa. So when the Greeks named Egypt Egypticos, which is Egypt Ptah, you see the PT on the end of Egypt, Egypticos, which is Ptah's in that, PTH. So it's Egypt Ptah. You add the AH on the end, Egypt Ptah. And so they knew that Egypt Ptah was the land of the Twa. They been knew that. Okay, they knew that the Twa, if you look at the Anu, and we talking about the Koru, Pope Guru, which is the little short people of Japan, the Leprechaun, and even the Anu, which they say are the earliest inhabitants of Egypt, and they got the carvings of them, show them to be the little Twa. Okay, so we know this. We know this. Okay, we African, great African scholars today. Your master teachers is my master teacher. I'm just the gatekeeper, and I'm not just the gatekeeper. I'm the gate. Okay, I'm not just the gatekeeper. I'm the gate. I'm the gatekeeper and the gate. Now let me get on down here to these African deities. So we can go on and we gonna move from this. You know what I'm saying? We didn't hit heavy in the old mats. We didn't hit heavy in the Nagas. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and so we're gonna move in some different areas and some different sciences. So stay tuned, because we about to get off into the mystical aspect. We're going into the cosmology, astronomy. We're going into all areas of science and high science and arts and the language and all forms of, you know, areas of thought. We're going in there and we're gonna dig deep. God damn it, this is the year for your growth. I guarantee you. Stay with me. At the end of this year, and you go 5, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, even 10 years from now. You know, because I have years I know that was a hell of a year for me. I grew like a motherfucker. You're going to look back to this year and you're going to say, this was the year that I grew, you know, in leaps and bounds. Stay with the general. Let me get over here to these guys. All right, here we go. Here we go. We're about to work out. Let me check the chat, see how everybody doing out there. Let me see how everybody doing out there in the chat. Okay, we're in the house. We're in the house. All right, let me rock you on to sleep so you can go to sleep with sweet dreams. Let me rock you on to sleep with these African gods. Let me rock you on to sleep. We got good numbers out there. Good. All right, African gods worshipped in India. Okay, these are just some. I didn't get a chance to fill it all in, but of course, I know for a fact Horus the elder, Isis and Horus the child, Osiris, the Apis bull, Hathor, Apetamak, Bes, Ra, and there's many more. I didn't get an opportunity to put it in there, but we gonna see today. And I brought this out many, many years ago to show you that Buddha is the Osiris of East Asia. Okay? Same deity, God of renewal, God of resurrection, God of resurrection, God of renewal, God of life, new life. And this is what the green is symbolic of. You understand what I'm saying? Osiris is a spring deity. See, you got the you got to understand Osiris is also a sun deity. And so as the sun moves around the 360 degree, 364 and 1/4 day circumference of the galaxy, you see as it moves into the different quarters, the cross, the solar cross, the equinoxes and the solstices. When you see the equinox, that's what? That's Osiris land horizontal. You see what I'm saying? And then you got when the sun goes beneath the equinox in the fall, then Osiris is what? He's in the underworld. You got to understand, Heru is Osiris. Osiris' son. He's the resurrection of Osiris. So when Osiris, resurrects, he resurrects as what? He resurrects as Heru. And so when spring starts, you will see many images of Osiris raising up. You see what I'm saying? You'll see Osiris raising up. He resurrects through Heru, his son, okay, who becomes the new sun, okay, the new sun, S-U-N. And from spring to the summer solstice, which is the longest day, and that's when the sun reaches its supreme. You know what I'm saying? It's supreme in the sky, and it's the long, and so that's Osiris as Heru. You understand what I'm saying? And then, he started to take his descent again and fall. What? He falls. He passes. And from that point, he goes back into the underworld. Okay, so you see that the green Osiris is a god of fertility. And so it is with Buddha. Okay? And you see Ptah Osiris. You see what I'm saying? You see him mummified. You see him holding the Wa scepter, which is Set. A lot of people want to talk about Set, but the most powerful scepter in all of Egypt was the Wa scepter. You understand? Showing all power and sovereignty over Egypt. And in this instance, over the underworld. Okay, and so this again, so you see many of these deities were exact replicas of each other. You understand? As they move from different vicinities of Egypt, many different deities had some of the same characteristics, but in different districts, like you got the nomes of Egypt, one deity was venerated here, and so you have thousands of deities in ancient Egypt, depending on where you at and you had a regional supreme deity, a deity of that particular nome, and then you got the supreme national deity, such as Ptah, the early supreme deity of the old kingdom, and then in the middle kingdom, you see that the kings of Waset, where Ra, Amen, and Mut was the powerful god and goddess. Then you see that Amen and Mut began to usurp Ptah and Sekhmet and Khonsu as the first holy trinity of Egypt. Then it became Amen, Mut, and Khonsu. And then eventually you have the spiritual trinity of Osiris, Isis, and Horus. You see, so you have many trinities. So you see that this is the veneration of fertility, the green Buddha, the green Ptah, the green Osiris, representing spring, renewal, resurrection, and rebirth. Okay, and you also see that the Buddha had what? Most time has 7 nagas that protect. Now we all understand that the king cobra above the brow, the pineal gland, the brow chakra of the pharaoh was also there in the same respects to the nagas of the Buddha as a protector. Okay, but there are 7 nagas, and we also understand that Orion, huh? The constellation of Orion was sacred to Osiris. Okay, we understand that there are 7 stars in Orion's belt. So when you're looking at the Nagas of Buddha, that's also cosmological, astronomical, correlating to this 7 stars of Orion in Egypt, sacred to Osiris. Okay, and we even see the crucified image of Osiris. Now, when you see Osiris land on the horizontal like this the equinox, this the sun. You understand? This the equinox. You see what I'm saying? This is the, you know what I'm saying? And when he passes the fall, yeah, we got to understand again, many of these seasons don't even exist in Africa. Because so when we say, you know what I'm saying, we say fall, we don't mean it's getting cold. You understand what I'm saying? Usually it go into the rainy season or this, that, and the third. But there is no winter in Africa. You understand what I'm saying? It's just hot and hotter. And you understand you got a wet season. You understand? And that's the difference of seasons in Africa. It's really 2 seasons, the dry season and the wet season. You understand? But it's damn near hot all year round. And even though it might get cool in certain, like in Ethiopia, it get cool because you're in the mountains a lot. So when I was in Lalabella and shit, yeah, it got cold. But as soon as that sun rose in the morning, your ass had to take off all kind of clothes. You understand what I'm saying? So you see Buddha at the bottom, you see Jesus, and we talk about the 16 crucified saviors. And that's another showing you the similarity. Even though they vary in certain traditions, this, that, and the third, they are symbolically representing the same season, the same astronomical constellation, star. You understand? It's the same season, but a different deity from a different culture. You see what I'm saying? And so here you see Osiris. This is Tut as Osiris, and you see Buddha what as a sleeping Buddha, and you see the Ka of Tut right next to him, and you see Heru. You see what I'm saying? He's the rising Heru, and you see his Ka right there looking over him. You see what I'm saying? Now we're talking about the blue Osiris and Christian. You see, we talking about, so we did the green one. We also did the black. I'm gonna do the black one too, and I'm gonna bring that one black. I'm gonna bring that one black. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna bring that one black. Okay, now we're talking about the blue Osiris and Krishna. And you see right here, these are the I and Y, because Osiris is also a sky deity. Because he's a sun deity, he's also a sky deity. So when you see blue, many times it's either symbolic of a sky deity or a water deity. You also see that Happy was blue. You see what I'm saying? You see Shu was blue. Why? Because Shu is a god of atmosphere, which represent sky. You see what I'm saying? So you see that Krishna, you see many times Krishna riding on his chariot through the sky. I didn't have it particularly today, but if you look it up, Krishna would ride on his chariot through the sky. So he was also a solar. And if you look in the back, you see he has the halo behind his head. So you know what I'm symbolic of the sun. So he's also a sun deity. When you see these certain symbolism, you could trace them all the way back to Africa. You already know what they mean. You see what I'm saying? And so we looking at Krishna, we talking about Isis and Horus. And you see right here, Krishna's and Krishna is Christ. You understand what I'm saying? We see that Osiris is also Christ. You see, so you see Buddha is the Christ of Buddhism. Then you see Krishna is the Christ figure of Hinduism. Okay, so you see 3 Christ deities. You see Buddha, you see Osiris, you see Krishna. And here's Christian. This is Buddha in his sleep. Okay, as Osiris was in his sleep. And so here you see Mother Aset Isis, the Holy Mother, the Great Mother of the cosmos, and you see Yeshada, who is the foster mother of Krishna, and who was the foster mother of Horus. Hathor, Heru, was the foster mother of Horus. Okay, so when Isis wasn't there, it was Hede, and that's why you see the cow horns on Aset. You see what I'm saying? Many of these goddesses are interchangeable. These is all divine characteristics within the African woman. Okay, all the goddesses are different attributes within you, Black Goddess, and they all one goddess, but many representations of the goddess. Okay, so they all in one. So you see, you got the blue Christian. Okay, you see, you got and this is the child Christian. See, now you see the difference. Just like you got Horus. You got Horus the elder, and then you got Horus the child. Okay, in the Greek persuasion, they call it what's the word I'm trying to say? Hippocrates or Hippocrates, whatever the name they use. It's the Greek version of Horus. Okay, I'll get the terminology. You understand? Because I'm not no goddamn Greek. You know what I'm saying? Hippocrates. Okay, Crates. Hippocrates, the Heru child. Or say that's Krishna as the Horus child. You see, he's also shown as blue. Okay, you can see Krishna look like he about to take his finger up to his mouth too. If you look and you see the rod, the divinity, you see the sun disk behind his head, emanating divinity, showing you that he's one with the sun, and that's why he's blue. So he's nothing more than Horus. Okay, the Horus child, in many instances, he was put in front of the temples to remind the priest to keep your mouth closed. This is a secret order. You see what I'm saying? So as you go deeper and deeper into the temple, you will see the symbols of the child Heru with his fingers to his mouth. And that's for the brothers to always remember to keep your mouth tight when you're dealing with this information. You understand? This information is not for everybody. You are to be taught, and that which you is taught, you is held to secrecy. You see what I'm saying? Now you see here, Aset and Nephthys to the left, upholding the divine child of God, the new son, the Heru. You see, and you see the two cobras, the king cobras emanating from the sun. That's the winged sun disk that you see over the doorways of the Egyptian temple. And then if you take the sun disk and the two serpents, it becomes the caduceus. You understand? Many, they shrink the sun and wrap the sun, the serpents around the pole, and it becomes the medical caduceus. Then you got the brazen serpent of Moses, and then it says Jesus will be raised up on the cross like the serpent was raised up on the pole. You understand? These is all symbolism of this divine child of God, the new son, the resurrecting of Osiris. And to the right, you see the serpents, and you see the father of Krishna upholding him. You understand what I'm saying? You see the sun in the back, no different than do you see Nephthys and Isis upholding Heru? And you see the two serpents, what? In protection. And you see the Nagas in protection of Krishna. You see what I'm saying? The symbolism are replicas. They're not similar, they're replicas, but represented in the culture in which is, particular to that culture. If it's in Hinduism, then of course they're going to use Hinduism images, but the information that defines the images is a replica of each other. Okay, so you seeing the black Buddha. Okay, now of course, we're gonna show you the ones that look African, but of course they done got all the paint up off of them. So even though they black, if you was to show them black with that woolly hair, they would goddamn pass the hell out. You know what I'm saying? So we go back here to this Osiris. Or better yet, I had one down here. I don't want to put, because some of them, they don't. I want that show enough African. You know what I'm saying? I want him to be blacker than a quadruple million midnights. God damn it, I don't need no, I don't need no black one looking like the damn Hindu. You know what I'm saying? I need the black one looking like the African. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I come. I think this is one. But no, I don't know what I did with him, but that's all right. I'm gonna go in there and put it in there like it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Let me keep moving so I can make proof positive that not just the pyramid, you understand, not just the pyramid, not just the temples, not just the, it's more than that. Okay? It's more than that. We got the whole spectrum. And so you see right here a Buddha. And it looked just like our family today who got them high top dreadlocks, them high tops with the dreads in them. It looked just like that. That's exactly what it is. Okay, no people on the planet got no damn hair like that. Okay? Let's be real with it. And again, that's why you see, the blue Osiris, because he's also a sun deity. And that's why I say we was on arcs so ancient that even our deities are shown on boats. You understand what I'm saying? Because we are people of the water. So just like the sky and the water in this instance is one and the same, because the sky is symbolic of the celestial Nile. So these deities are sailing across which we call what? The Milky Way. That's what we call the Milky, which is sacred to Heru, who's the what? The golden, the divine, cosmic, black cow, holy mother of the universe. Okay? Who is a nourisher, who is a sustainer. Here you see Krishna and his queen. You know what I'm saying? And I got to get her name, which is no different than Osiris and Aset. You see what I'm saying? Osiris and Isis is one and the same, and we're going to prove that. Again, showing you that the blue baby Krishna and Heru, the child, this is who that's symbolic of. So not only do you got Krishna, the elder, you got Krishna as the child. No different than you got Heru, the elder, and you got Heru, the child. Okay? And then that ain't no coincidence. Then you got Hathor as the sacred cow of India Kush. So you see that Nu, and Hathor is symbolic as sky goddesses. Okay? And you see that Hathor and Nu are what? Queens of heaven. And this is why you see the star in her belly, and this is where you get the concept, the Milky Way from. Okay, so when you go to India to the right, you see the calf suckling. You see what I'm saying? Symbolic of the golden calf of the Bible, which they got out of Egypt as Hathor. So we know that, when Moses supposedly went up on the mountain, he stayed gone so long that the people got scared, and they say, Aaron, make us a god. And so he said, give me all your gold and silver, and he melted it down and made the golden calf. He made all the golden calf. And this is showing you that all over the world is no doubt about it, that there was one mother culture, and that culture was the Nile Valley. You see how they rule in India. They dress the cow up. They dress the bull up. And you cannot eat the cow, even though they over there lying, they eating cow. Many of them don't, but the cow is sacred. God damn it, the cow is sacred, just like it's sacred in Egypt. Okay, and right there you see Krishna and his wife. I think it's spelled with an R, and I'm going to get her name and put it in there. And so you see that's the Osiris and Isis of the Naga Kushites. Okay, you always see the bull there, the cow there, and had a rule. In this instance, it's the cow, then you got the bull. Both were sacred in Egypt and India. Okay, the cow as Hathor and the bull as the Apis bull. Okay, let me keep it moving. So this is Nandi, and how a coincidence that the sacred bull of the Naga Kushites in India is called Nandi, and also in South Africa amongst the Zulu, Shaka Zulu's mother is called Nandi, and that they got a Shaka tribe in India, just like Shaka, spelled exactly the same. Shaka, okay, is a tribe in India. So you got the Naga, you got the Shaka, you got Nandi, you got Shanghai, and then you got Songhai. You understand what I'm saying? You hear the African in the languages of the East. So again, you're seeing Nandi and the Apis bull. You see what I'm saying? You see Nandi in the Apis bull, and you see Nandi in front of all of the temples. It's almost common, it's almost uncommon not to see Nandi in front of the temples in India. And usually Nandi will be looking directly at the sanctuary, the Holy of Holies. Okay? A Petamak. Now, Petamak was a lion-headed warrior god worshipped by the Meroic peoples inhabiting Nubia. A number of Meroic temples dedicated to this deity are known from Western Bhutania region, Naga, they say Nakwa, but it's Naga, Meroe, Musarat el Sufar, which seems to be his chief cult place. Okay, and what you see in a Petamak is the three-headed lion. Okay, and then when you go to, this is the image on the temple of Naga Sudan, the temple of a Petamak. You see the three-headed lion, and then you go to India. This was the symbol that was venerated by the great Naga king, Hindu king, Askoa. Okay, now how is it that you hear a steer in Askoa? Okay, look it up. This is his great symbol that he gave to India. So when you look at the three-headed lion of Petamak in Naga Sudan, you also see the three-headed lion of Askoa worship in India. This is we know for a fact that there was great transition, great energies moving back and forth from India to Africa. Okay, again, looking at the three-headed lion venerated by Askoa atop his column. Okay, and you see the sun disc atop the three-headed lion. You understand? Showing and proof. I don't need nobody to tell me that's exactly what it is. Okay, now if you need help, go get you some help. I don't know where you're gonna get it from, because the obvious is you can't beat the obvious. Okay, now we got Garuda. Okay, which is eagle deity of the Hindu faith. And as you can see, Garuda, you understand, was always in conflict with the Naga. You see what I'm saying? He was always in conflict with the Naga. And so you can see here, this is on the flag of Thailand. We just talked about Thailand being, an area where our family populated and dominated, the Negrito. And so as you can see, that's nothing but an image of Heru. That's all that it is. Okay, we don't want to play no games, because that's what it is. We don't need heavy, nobody to, make nothing up. When you look at it, you see, and when you see so many of the other deities, it becomes so evident. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you look up the first flag of Iran, and you can look this up in the National Museum of Iran, this is number 2436, in case you need to go to Iran to see it. This was entitled in Iran as the first flag of Iran. Okay, the first flag of Iran. So this is West Asia, and this is East Asia. So we showing you from the Nile Valley to West Asia to East Asia. You understand what I'm saying? That Heru was venerated. You understand what I'm saying? All across Africa and Asia. No doubt. Okay? And let me move past this. Now check this out. You see Bess as the Lion King. You see him with his tongue sticking out in the first one and the second. Bess as the Lion of Kush thousands of years before Judah or the conquest of India by the Kushite. Now check this out, family. It's gonna get deep. Gonna get deep. You in the house? Gonna get deep. Going out with a bang. Now we know this. We see Bess. We see the little Twa in the Hindu. But check this out. Now you see this deity. Particularly, I don't know what the deity's name is, and I'm gonna get it for you. You know, many times it look like Kali. You know what I'm saying? But this particular one is not Kali. But you see, he got the lion man, just like the Best got the lion man. You understand what I'm saying? He's wearing the lion mane on all three. You see what I'm saying? So when you come over here, he got the lion mane, and you can see his tongue is sticking out. He also got those eyebrows like Beth. Now check this out. Look at the mass side and look at that. And tell me that ain't the same eyes glaring at you. Them same African eyes. I'm going to take you there today. I'm going to take you there today and show and prove beyond any reasonable doubt. He can run, but you cannot goddamn hide. You're not going to tell me that what everything we putting up here is some fucking coincidence. It ain't no coincidence. It's an exact replica. Look at that. You understand what I'm saying? As it goes into different areas, it become a different expression. You see what I'm saying? But the energy, the blueprint, the spiritual blueprint that set it off from the jump come out of Africa. Okay, that's the spiritual energy that set it off. You can see his eyes. You know, he got the same and using some of the same colors at the same time. And again, we showing you Krishna with the cow, and then you looking at Heru and you see the king up under there. You know, and this is symbolic of the black woman. You understand? Being the nourisher and sustainer of the nation. You understand what I'm saying? This is what it's symbolic of. So when we say the black woman is God, we know she God. You ain't got that nourisher or sustainer, you already know that's the end. There is no renewal. There is no renewal without the black woman. Okay, let me keep it moving. Check this out. Check it out now. Play with me if you want to. This is the mass side. And you see how they are great traders. And in the ancient time, they were a part of the ancient Egyptian, ancient Nubian expression. You see what I'm saying? Many of the attributes of Egypt and Nubia are manifested in the Maasai. Even the red ochre paint that they put on their face, and many African tribes do that. You understand what I'm saying? But when you're talking about Egypt, you're talking about a great, a great gathering of African people from all over the continent. You understand what I'm saying? So you see many different expressions of Africa in Egypt. So when we speak of Egypt, we speak of all Africa. We're not just speaking of one tribe. We speaking because if we break it down and show the blueprint of the Nile Valley is in all cultures all around the world, that means they had to been on the spot to see what it was. So they were much a part of Egypt as any tribe in Africa. Okay? And so you see the Maasai people and you see that expression that you seen earlier, with the form of Kali in India. And it get deeper now. Check this out. Now, this is the Maori from New Zealand. Now, you see them with their tongue sticking out, right? And you can see the different sacred geometry on their face. You understand what I'm saying? The different diagrams, sacred diagrams that's drawn on their face. You understand what I'm saying? I can show you that they got that from Africa, but let me show you exactly. You know, this is best, but let me show you the jump off where they got it from. Because if you go to Papua New Guinea, you will see that the Africans in Papua Guinea taught him to the right. He didn't, you know what I'm saying? He don't know what the hell he got it from the Africans that was there before they showed up. See, that's what they not showing our family. You can see right there, that's where he got it from. And that brother is an African who brought it from the homeland with him when he came. And many people, and it get deeper than that, because you got books such as The Signs and Symbols of Primordial Man, which was written by Albert Churchward, which was a European. And you understand what I'm saying? The European is a European, but he documented certain things about the Masonic origin of all the primitive people and traced the ceremonies and rituals back to Egypt. And those Africans in the South Pacific, the Papua New Guinea, they got some of the same damn rituals as the motherfucking Masonic Lodge of today. You understand? Masonic Lodge of today took from Egypt and Africa, and not understanding that the Africans of Egypt and the Nile Valley took those same rituals and ceremonies with them when they went east. And so when you start seeing the rituals done by these so-called and see that's it exactly the goddamn same as motherfuckers over here in some Masonic lodge in goddamn Pennsylvania or fucking New York or whatever, it's almost shocking. You almost in shock when you see this shit. You know what I'm saying? And you can see that this was also in Greece. So we proven hands down that these deities, the African deities, are worshipped all over the world. And Best is one of the most profound of all the deities. You can damn near find Best as much as they want to make, you know, derogatory remarks about Best being a god of just music, god of fun and this, that. They don't tell you that God Best is also a god of medicine and birthing, that God, he's a goddess of war and many other music, this, that, and the third. But Best is one of the most venerated, recognizable gods all over the planet. That's another profound fact that show you why is it that Best is so profoundly venerated all over the planet in all cultures. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you look at the eyes over the one in the right, you see his eyebrows and you see that almond-shaped eye. That's the same eye. And I got many of this particular Best, and you can see the eyebrows, and Best got them like that too. I just didn't put them in there. You understand this? And you can see the same veneration of the eyebrows over the Maori. Okay, and then so here you got a Hindu, silly as he wanna be. He don't know what the hell he doing. Okay, and you can see the lion is where they got, this is an animal spirit, where they got it from. Where you see the lion stick that tongue out, that's the speech of a king. You understand what I'm saying? That's the speech of a king, the speech of a queen. You understand what I'm saying? This is what you call the throat, what the Hindu call the throat chakra. What you speak, words of power, that which you speak become your reality. You see what I'm saying? So that's what you got to remember when you open up your goddamn mouth, the things that you speak out of your mouth become your reality. And you see my Cali here, this is the same. You see the eye there representing the third eye. You see the crescent symbolic of the horns of Heru, and the eye symbolic of what? The sun. Because the sun is the eye of Osiris, the eye of Ra. The moon is the other eye. Okay? I think I did that one. Let me see where I'm at. Okay, where we at? It's 11:30. I'm gonna move down real quick. Give me 10 minutes and I'm gonna be out. We'll have to pick up later. The Acker, God of the horizon. yesterday, present, and tomorrow. The past, the present, and the future. You see the two lions in front of the temple at Philae. And then you come, this is Musarat. This is the temple sacred to Apetamat. Okay, and then you come to the Karnak temple in India. And you see the two lions in front of that temple, in back of a pyramid. You understand? We done already went over that to show you that it's the same temple design of the Egyptian temple, or the Egyptian pyramid temple. Okay? Proving that hands down. And then when you look at the priests of ancient Egypt, the curry hair priests being clean shaven. You understand what I'm saying? With light linen robes on. You understand what I'm saying? And you see the Buddhists. You understand what I'm saying? Come on now. How much of this do you have to see and see? They don't show you the black Naga Kushite that took that there. So you see the light skin, pale skin, Buddhist there. And you say, damn, but you got to see the African Kushites that were there before the pale skin Buddhists got in there. And you see to the right, you see the curly hair priests of Ptah. You understand what I'm saying? Then you see the left, they've taken the practices of the Nile Valley priesthood, and they venerated it in Buddhism and Hinduism. It's more profoundly in Buddhism. This is another curly hair priest of ancient Egypt. You understand? Clean shaven. And then you remember that old pale fool right there in Kung Fu. You understand? Showing you. You even see Ptah, clean shaven. And you see him right there as they shave the young boys to make them clean shaven. Now we're looking at the cat. We're dealing with the priesthood. We dealt with the gods. Now let's deal with the priests, because the priests is the one that are responsible for taking care of the temple. We went over the temple. We're going to end with the priests. We're going to end with the priests today. And we'll come back to this over and over and over again. I'm going to tighten it up so each time I come, it's more profound than the next time. You see in Africa, it's the leopard skin. Okay. Now, when we go, this is just, the Indian type, but I can show you the African on the Mayan Codex, the African with who brought the jaguar to him. So in Africa, it's the leopard skin. In Americas, it's the jaguar. Okay. The cat skin show you the universal brotherhood of the priesthood. When you get into India, what? It's the tiger skin. Okay, and you see that the Egyptians wore the same cat skins as the Southern African, the West African. So that's show and prove, again, another trait, a exact replica to show you that the Egyptians was Africans. Okay, then you didn't see them over there with nothing other than African characteristics. Okay, I'm going to end with the lotus. And so, again, you see the lotus. This is Xerxes. We'll get into the African immortals of Persia in later videos, but you see Xerxes holding what? The lotus. He in a goddamn desert. He ain't got no goddamn lotus. What the hell he doing with a lotus? This is traditions that have been brought from the Nile. You see what I'm saying? You see there in the Nile, you see the god and the priest holding the lotus. Same exact lotus. Okay? And then you come to India. You see Krishna standing on the lotus. And then you see the four sons of Horus. They're standing. What is the lotus? The lotus is rebirth. Okay? It's birth and rebirth. Okay? So you see the four sons of Horus representing north, east, south, east, west, how the Africans went across the world and took culture in each direction. You understand what I'm saying? From, to the east of Asia to the north, and to the north of the African, Egypt was north. You understand? You go south, you understand? People don't understand that shit. From South Africa to North Africa is damn near 6,000 miles, more than that, damn near 7,000 miles. So Egypt is north, okay? And you see Buddha with the lotus, and you see, how is it where you go all around the world, that the lotus is the most divine of all flowers. It's the lotus. You understand what I'm saying? That's another exact replica. So when you add all of these symbolism on top, the only legitimate answer is that there was one mother culture. And when you look at the greatest of all civilizations, the most ancient of all civilizations, you see that it is the Nile Valley. So it is useless to say, oh, we not Egyptian. I see a lot of people. Let me come out of this. I'm going to end with this. See, it becomes useless to say I'm not an Egyptian. You see what I'm saying? I'm not an African. When you lay out the cultures of all the peoples on the planet and you can show that it's a replica of ancient Egypt and the Nile Valley. And I'm gonna just one day I'm gonna just take all this, I'm gonna just make, and I'm making it now, a list of all the similarities. You know, Egypt and the Old Man. Egypt and the Nile. I'm gonna do it separate, and then I'm gonna come all together and just show motherfuckers. And when after a while, I can go ahead into another because it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I've been studying it long enough, so it's mute, it's moot, it's mute to even say I'm not African, I'm not Egyptian. I see a lot of I'm this, I'm that. When you can break it down and show that they all took their culture that you think not Egyptian is Egyptian. It's Nile Valley. When I say Egyptian, I mean African, because Egypt is a composite of all Africa. So when I say Egypt, I mean all Africa. Egypt is the pinnacle of African culture. You understand? You can show so many different African tribes in Egypt. Okay, and those are facts. Okay, I ain't got no time. So why would you say you something that I'm not Egyptian when we can break it down and show that little bit of shit that you think you claiming ain't Egypt is actually Egypt in the most primitive manner? You understand what I'm saying? The most elementary manner. Why would you go down to that, to an elementary platform when you got the greatest of all? You understand? When you start building a championship team, you look at other championship teams. You don't start at the weakest team in the league and say, this is how I'm gonna build a championship by looking at the weakest team in the league. You look at teams that just been running it. Goddamn Boston, you understand? 11 in a row. Goddamn Chicago, 2 3-peats. You understand? You look at teams that been, and you know what I'm saying? And after Jordan and them, you see they start say we need 3 motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? That's how you're going to win a championship. You know what I'm saying? You need 3 central motherfuckers. And you see that's how they start pushing each championship team. They had Jordan, Pippen, and goddamn Rodney. You understand? Then came the Lakers and shit. They got Shaq and shit and Kobe, and they had a few more pieces that qualify as a third piece. You understand what I'm saying? Even when LeBron went down to Miami, you had LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and then you had Bosh. Even though he but he was that third player. You got to have them 3. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to debate none of that shit, but just to show you, they seen that once you got them 3 core players, goddamn it, you can run the rest of the team. If they ain't got 2 and you got 3, you know what I'm saying? So they so they taken from blueprints that already showed them. You ain't gonna redo this shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna redo this shit. You know what I'm saying? Now some motherfucker got 4, 5. You know what I'm saying? Once you get them core runners and shit, and you got the blueprint, you going to the top and build your blueprint. This is the motherfucker I gotta beat. And so if I got to beat this motherfucker, I gotta have a motherfucker for this one, this one, this one, and this one. So it's damn near a replica of what the fuck the championship team is. Okay, so when we talking about building a concrete championship team, we got to go to Egypt. There's no doubt about it. The longest living civilization, including, if you include Nubia, you talking over 10,000 years of continuous domination in world culture. No other area has had such, and even when you break it down today, and I'm about to be out of here, Egypt, people say Egypt is dead. And you can see goddamn images of Egypt all around the modern world, whether it's in Freemasonry, whether it's just like we put up Yu-Gi-Oh! And all these goddamn cartoons, as long as they still showing Egypt and all over the internet and music and on album covers and cartoons and in architecture and goddamn fucking advertisement for any goddamn, Egypt is still alive. They see the power in that imagery and they still using it. So for any motherfucker to think that Egypt is dead is dumb. Egypt is still living today because it's still the most powerful culture that has ever existed on the planet. And any culture in the future that intends to be dominant in the manner of ancient Egypt gonna build off of that same structure. This is the General Sarah Seti. I'm out of here, family. Let me go to my chat room, see if how many people stayed in there with me. Let me see how many people stayed. Damn, y'all stayed in there with me. Ain't that something? I didn't even know, family. I was just talking. I love and respect all my family out there. Thank you for your support. Man, I'm growing with you. You growing with me. Let's grow together. Let's build. I got many, how to do. I'm going to get off into the politics and structure too to help family, get the crib together, get their study habits together, get their economics together. You understand? All of that. Building on how we can go over this water. Stay with the General. I got some profound information to share with you. We going to get it done. Telling you, we're going to get something done in this community, this Black Power gas movement. I guarantee you, we going to get something done. And it's going to be for us and ours, okay? So this is the General Sarah Seti saying, hey, thank you for coming out. Thank you for coming out. I'm going to see you again tomorrow. Love you. Black Power.